You think you already know what the healthiest relationship of your life is supposed to look like. Calm mornings, easy laughter, zero conflict, two people who somehow always agree. And if that's the picture in your head, I need you to let it go for the next 20 minutes because that picture is not what a healthy relationship actually feels like from the inside. What it actually feels like is something almost nobody talks about. Something that looks a little clumsy, a little uncomfortable, sometimes even a little scary, before it becomes the safest thing you've ever known. And by the end of this video, you're going to recognize exactly where you are on that path, whether it's already happening to you right now or whether it's still ahead of you. Here's why we get it so wrong. We grow up watching relationships get compressed into 90-minute movies, where the hard part is getting together and the moment the couple kisses, the story just ends. Credits roll, happily ever after, no glimpse of the next 30 years. Social media does something even sneakier. It shows us the highlight reel, the anniversary trip, the surprise proposal, the perfectly synced couple posting from a rooftop in another country. And we quietly start comparing our actual textured, sometimes awkward relationship to somebody else's edited trailer. So we build this fantasy of what healthy is supposed to look like, smooth, conflict-free, effortless. And then when our real relationship doesn't match that fantasy, we panic. We think something is wrong. We think maybe this isn't the one. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to walk through the real research-backed signs that you are stepping into the healthiest season of your relationship. And I want you to notice something as we go. Almost every single one of these signs is something that, on the surface, looks a little uncomfortable, a little unfamiliar, maybe even a little frightening. And that discomfort is not a warning sign. It's the sound of something old finally breaking open so something stronger can grow in its place. The first shift people notice is that the arguments get more honest. Not louder, not meaner, more honest. In a lot of relationships, especially early on, people are conflict avoidant without even realizing it. They smile through the small resentments. They say it's fine when it isn't. They let tension quietly accumulate because peace, even fake peace, feels safer than confrontation. Picture two people early in their relationship who pride themselves on never fighting. Friends admire them for it, but underneath, one of them has been swallowing frustration for months. A little disappointment here, a small hurt there, all filed away and never spoken. And then one day, it spills out all at once, and it feels like a disaster, like the relationship is cracking. But what's actually happening is the opposite. The relationship is finally becoming strong enough to hold the truth. When two people start being able to say that hurt me or I disagree with you without the whole thing collapsing, that's not fragility. That's structural integrity. A relationship that can survive honesty is infinitely healthier than one that can only survive silence. So if lately your conversations have gotten a little more direct, a little less filtered, take that as a quiet victory. You have officially outgrown the performance of a perfect couple, and you're building something that can actually hold real weight. Say it with me. A relationship that can survive honesty was never fragile to begin with. It was just waiting to be tested. The second sign is even more counterintuitive. You start feeling more like yourself, not less. There's this old myth that being in a serious relationship means merging into one identity, losing your edges, becoming a unit instead of two people. So when partners notice they still crave solo time, still want their own hobbies, still keep old friendships alive, they sometimes panic and think, are we drifting apart? Here's the twist. Independence inside a relationship is one of the strongest predictors of long-term satisfaction. Imagine someone a year into a relationship who used to spend every single weekend with their partner, and now they've picked their old hobby back up, painting, running, whatever it is, and they spend a few hours a week doing it alone. At first, it feels like a loss, like something is slipping. But what's actually happening is that the relationship has become secure enough that neither person needs to disappear into the other to feel safe. Healthy attachment doesn't erase your individuality, it protects it. You can hold someone's hand and still have your own. And if you're noticing that you feel more like yourself now than you did in the beginning, more grounded, more clear on your own opinions and interests, that's not distance. That's the relationship working exactly the way it should. The healthiest couples are not two halves of one whole. They're two wholes standing next to each other by choice. Number 3 might be the one that surprises people the most, and I promise we'll come back to why in a moment. The third sign is boredom. Yes, boredom. Comfortable, quiet, uneventful boredom. In the beginning of any relationship, there's a chemical storm going on, new relationship energy, dopamine, the excitement of discovering someone, and a lot of people mistake that chemical high for the actual health of the relationship. So, when the excitement naturally settles, when a Tuesday night together starts to feel ordinary instead of electric, people get scared and think the spark is dying. Picture a couple 2 years in, sitting on the couch, half watching something neither of them is really paying attention to, barely talking, completely comfortable in the silence. From the outside, that might look like nothing, but that quiet, low stimulation comfort is actually one of the clearest markers of a secure bond. Your nervous system doesn't need constant excitement to prove someone is safe. It settles down precisely because it has learned it's safe. The goal was never to stay in the honeymoon phase forever. The goal was always to arrive somewhere calmer, a takeaway worth remembering. Peace is not the absence of passion. It's what passion becomes once trust replaces adrenaline. The fourth sign is that you start asking for things instead of hoping for them. In a lot of early relationships, people communicate through hints, through hoping the other person will just get it, through quiet disappointment when they don't. It feels vulnerable to say plainly, I need you to check in with me when you're running late, or I need more physical affection this week. So people avoid saying it directly, hoping their partner reads their mind. Imagine someone who spent the first year of their relationship dropping subtle hints instead of asking outright and slowly building resentment every time the hint went unnoticed. Then one day, they just say it plainly, out loud, no hints, and it feels terrifying in the moment, like they're asking for too much, like they might get rejected. But what's actually happening is they're trusting the relationship enough to be direct, and directness is the language of security. Vague hoping is what fear sounds like. Clear asking is what trust sounds like. If you've noticed you're getting more comfortable simply saying what you need, that's not neediness, that's growth. A relationship becomes healthy the moment silent hoping turns into spoken asking. Here's a quick one, because not every sign needs a whole story to land. Sign number 5 is that you've started to actually enjoy your partner's friends and family showing up in your life instead of quietly dreading it. When a relationship is shaky, the people around your partner can feel like intruders, competition for time and attention. When a relationship is healthy, those same people start to feel like an extension of your own life. If you catch yourself genuinely looking forward to their sister's birthday dinner or texting their best friend on your own now, that's your nervous system telling you this person's world feels like your world too. Sign number 6, and this is the one a lot of people misread the hardest. You start noticing your own patterns instead of only your partner's. Early on, especially if either person has been hurt before, it's incredibly common to spend most of the emotional energy watching for red flags in the other person, scanning for signs they might leave, might disappoint, might repeat old wounds from a previous relationship. But somewhere in a healthy relationship, the focus quietly shifts. Imagine someone who used to get instantly anxious every time their partner didn't text back within an hour, convinced it meant something was wrong. Over time, instead of blaming their partner for the anxiety, they start noticing, oh, this isn't really about them. This is an old fear of mine showing up. That moment of turning the lens around on yourself can feel uncomfortable, even a little humbling, but it's actually one of the strongest signs of relational maturity there is. You can't do that kind of self-reflection with someone who doesn't feel safe. A relationship has to be sturdy enough to survive you looking honestly at yourself inside it. The healthiest couples aren't the ones with no baggage. They're the ones who've learned to unpack it together instead of blaming each other for the bags. And the 7th sign, the one that ties everything else together, is that repair starts happening faster than rupture. No relationship, no matter how healthy, is free of misunderstandings, off days, moments where someone says the wrong thing. The difference isn't whether conflict happens, it's how quickly two people find their way back to each other afterward. Picture a couple who used to let a small disagreement turn into 2 full days of cold distance, both waiting for the other to apologize first. And now, months later, the same kind of disagreement gets resolved in 20 minutes, sometimes with a joke, sometimes with a simple, "Hey, I didn't mean it like that." That shrinking gap between rupture and repair is, according to relationship researchers, one of the single strongest predictors of long-term stability. It's not about never hurting each other, it's about how quickly you find your way back. A relationship isn't measured by how often it breaks, it's measured by how well it mends. So, if you've been quietly worried that your relationship isn't as smooth, as cinematic, as effortless as the ones you see online, I want you to sit with something for a second. Every sign we just walked through, the harder conversations, the individuality, the boredom, the direct asking, the self-reflection, the fast repairs, every single one of them looks messier than the fantasy version of love we were sold. And every single one of them is actually evidence that something real is being built. The healthiest relationship of your life was never going to feel like a movie. It was going to feel like honesty replacing performance, like calm replacing chaos, like two individuals choosing each other on purpose, again and again, in ways nobody posts about. If even 2 or 3 of these signs sounded familiar to you, you are probably a lot closer to that healthy relationship than you've been giving yourself credit for. And if none of them do yet, that's all right too. Now you know exactly what to look for, and more importantly, exactly what to build toward. So tell me in the comments, which one of these hit you the hardest? The boredom, the direct asking, or the faster repairs? And if this gave you a little more hope about where you are right now, stick around, because there's a lot more of this ahead.